Revealed, how a 17-year-old outcast discovered an amazing billionaire, changing her life forever. Mia Johnson, a 17-year-old girl from Crestwood, a town where dreams often come to die, felt invisible as she entered Crestwood High. Her thrift store clothes were a constant target for ridicule. "Look, it's the bargain bin princess," one girl sneered, while laughter echoed around her. Each taunt stung like a dagger, embedding themselves in her heart. But the whispers about her parents' small diner, where they worked long hours for modest pay, were even sharper. Yet in her chest, a flicker of hope pulsed, a yearning for something greater, something brighter. A sunny afternoon offered an unexpected twist when Mia found herself at a local charity event, delivering meals. Nervous, she stepped into a world full of polished smiles and lavish suits. That's when she bumped into Alex Harper, the reclusive billionaire who was the talk of the town. The way his eyes lit up when he spoke to her felt surreal. "Hey, what's your story?" he asked. It was refreshing. His interest pierced through her armor of insecurity, and for the first time, someone acknowledged her. Their friendship blossomed like wildflowers in a barren field. Beneath the star-speckled sky, they would laugh about the absurdities of life, discuss dreams, and share the burdens placed upon them. Mia and Alex became each other's escape, a world where labels didn't matter. They spent hours talking about their hopes for the future, always sharing a joy that transcended their surroundings. But as whispers of their friendship spread, Mia's life at Crestwood High rapidly descended into chaos. Classmates who had ignored her now hurled scornful remarks. "Who does she think she is, hanging out with the rich guy?" Even her family grew concerned, the weight of ambition straining the bonds of their modest life. "Mia, remember where you came from," her mother warned, her voice a mixture of fear and love. Just when Mia thought she had a chance at a brighter future, Alex surprised her with an offer of a scholarship to a prestigious program. The news ignited fury in the town. "She must be sold out," they whispered, their disdain palpable. Mia felt the weight of their judgment, and just as confusion clouded her heart, a misunderstanding with her parents led to an explosive argument. "You're not that girl anymore, are you?" her father yelled, pain etched on his face. Caught in a whirlwind of conflict, Mia faced the harsh reality of expectation versus her aspirations. Her heart raced. Could she really fight this battle? Grief settled heavily in her chest, leaving her feeling isolated. But amidst the noise, a fire ignited deep within her, a determination to rise above their judgments and prove her worth. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As Mia stood on the precipice between the life she knew and the uncertainty ahead, she swallowed hard, her heart racing with both fear and courage. She was about to confront not only her peers' judgments but her family's love too. Would she find the strength to bridge the gap between expectation and her dreams? And would she be able to carve her own version of the American dream, against all odds? The stakes had never been higher, and destiny was waiting just around the corner. The next morning, Mia woke early, the sun filtering through her window, casting warm golden rays on her tangled hair. She should be excited. Today was the day she would meet Alex again. But as she prepared for school, doubt clawed at her heart. Could she really accept the scholarship without losing herself and her family? As she walked through the halls of Crestwood High, the whispers surrounded her like a storm. Look at her, so full of herself. The sneers slashed through her like the icy breeze of winter, yet she held her head high. Drawing strength from her friendship with Alex, she reminded herself that each step forward was a step towards breaking free from the suffocating expectations of her peers. I just need to get through today, Mia thought, her heart pounding as she reached her first class. The teacher's voice droned on, but her mind spun with thoughts of the conversation she needed to have with Alex after school. It was time to discuss the scholarship, the criticism, and the future she dreamed of. During lunch, Mia found a quiet corner, her fingers nervously tapping against the table as she waited for Alex to arrive. The cafeteria buzzed around her friends laughing, couples whispering, a distant reminder of what she once had. But something deep inside her resisted the pull of nostalgia. She had chosen this path, and she wouldn't look back. When Alex finally walked in, an aura of confidence surrounded him, brightening the dull atmosphere like a bolt of lightning. His smile cut through her fog of worries. He joined her, and for a moment, the world outside vanished. "Hey, you okay?" he asked, concern mingling with warmth in his voice. I need to talk," she trailed off, hesitant. His brows furrowed, the shift in her tone catching his attention. "About the scholarship?" Mia nodded, glancing around at the glances being thrown her way. "It's just, people are saying things. I don't want to be the girl who sold out. I can't lose my family or them. Who cares what they think?" "You have a chance, Mia," he urged, his tone firm. "But at what cost?" She fought to keep her voice steady. "If I take this, my parents will think I'm abandoning them. My friends, they're gone." Alex's expression softened. "It's not abandoning them if you're trying to build a better future. You can still love them and pursue your dreams." Mia sighed, weighing his words against the turmoil in her heart. Remembering her father's hurtful words pierced her again, but there was something else: hope. "I don't want to lose myself," she said softly. "Then don't. You are not defined by what they say. You define yourself." His conviction ignited something in her, but a shadow of uncertainty lingered. The bell rang, shattering the moment, and Mia felt time slip away. When school ended, Mia stood at the entrance, the air thick with anticipation. Could she really confront her parents? Could she follow Alex's path without losing everything? She looked at the horizon, each choice stretching out like a road diverging ahead. What if they don't understand? She whispered to herself, even amidst the fear, a spark of determination ignited deep within her. The weight of decision pressed against her chest, but she couldn't ignore it anymore. And just as Mia took her first step toward answering her own questions, she received an unexpected message on her phone. It was from Alex, a simple text that read, "Meet me at the diner later." Her heart quickened. What could he want to discuss now? Mia took a deep breath, feeling the stirrings of courage mixing with dread. Would she be ready for whatever revelations awaited? The path ahead had never felt more uncertain, and she had no idea what lay waiting for her in the shadows. But she knew she couldn't walk away from this chance. And that was only the beginning. Mia felt a rush of emotions swirling inside her as she walked toward the diner. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange, reflecting the tumult in her heart. Thoughts of Alex filled her mind, mixed with echoes of her father's words and the weight of judgment from her classmates. As the diner came into view, the familiar neon sign flickered against the twilight. There was something comforting about the place, its vintage charm and the aromatic scent of fries and burgers wafting through the air. Taking a deep breath, Mia pushed open the door, and the sound of the bell chimed, signaling her arrival. Alex was already at their usual booth, his back to the window, a shake in one hand and a look of resolve on his face. The moment their eyes met, she felt a wave of reassurance wash over her, like a warm blanket in the cold. "Hey," he said with a smile that melted away a fraction of her anxiety. "You made it." "Yeah, I almost didn't." "I was, well, scared," she admitted, sliding into the booth across from him. He leaned in, his eyes earnest. "Hey, it's okay to be scared. Just means you care about what's happening. But we need to talk about what's next, about that scholarship and all the chaos around it." Mia took a deep breath, feeling the weight settle heavily on her shoulders. "I've been thinking about a lot. What if taking the scholarship really does mean losing my family? Or worse, losing myself in the process?" Alex reached across the table, his fingers brushing against hers, a simple gesture that sent a ripple of comfort through her. "What if it's not about losing? What if it's about growing? Your family, your friends, they'll see you for who you are. They might surprise you. His words resonated like a gentle melody, easing the sharpness of her fears. But a new thought emerged, one that gnawed at her insides. But what if they reject the new me or think I'm just another stuck-up girl trying to escape? Alex frowned, his brow furrowing in frustration. Mia, you are not anyone else's perception of you. You're a beacon of talent and brilliance. Whatever they think, it's not your reality. She hesitated, absorbing his hopeful conviction. You make it sound so easy. It's not easy, and I won't pretend it is. But I believe in you. You have the power to define what your life looks like, he urged, each word laced with sincerity. As they sat together, a sense of clarity began cutting through her haze of worries. Maybe, just maybe, this opportunity wasn't a betrayal but a bridge to a different version of herself, one that could still love and honor her roots while embracing new possibilities. Just then, the waitress arrived, her cheerful demeanor breaking through the intensity of their conversation. What can I get you folks? She chimed, her notepad ready. Mia ordered a soda, her mind racing with thoughts. But as she turned back to Alex, ready to discuss the scholarship again, he caught her off guard. Listen, I have something for you, he said mysteriously, pulling a folded piece of paper from his pocket. What is it? She asked, her curiosity piqued. Just open it, he replied, an excited smile dancing on his lips. Mia unfolded the paper, her hands trembling slightly as she read the words. It was not just an invitation but a bold proposition. A chance that could change everything. What, are you serious? She exclaimed, glancing up at him in disbelief. Yes. Think about it. This is an opportunity for you to prove to yourself and others that you can shine without losing who you are, he said, his eyes bright with enthusiasm. Mia could feel her heart racing, a mixture of excitement and fear washing over her. What Alex was offering seemed like everything she wanted but also everything she feared. Was she ready for this leap? With the weight of the decision pressing down on her, she realized the moment had arrived. To leap or not to leap? As she gazed out of the diner window, the stars began to twinkle above, a silent challenge to her uncertainty. Maybe this could be the chance I need, she whispered, her heart pounding with both anticipation and dread. But as she weighed her options, a shadow flickered across her mind. What if taking this chance would set off a series of events that she could never take back? Mia locked eyes with Alex, feeling the tension rise between them. What do you think? She finally asked, her voice barely above a whisper. And just like that, she stood at the edge of a choice she never saw coming, wondering what the future would hold. Mia's heart raced as she stared into Alex's unwavering gaze, a whirlwind of uncertainties swirling in her mind. The paper lay flat between them, a crossroad of dreams and fears. She could hear her pulse thudding in her ears, a sharp reminder of the stakes. You know, this could mean everything, Alex said softly, leaning forward. But it's your decision. Don't let fear talk louder than your heart. His words wrapped around her, a lifeline amidst the chaos. But the doubt lingered. Could a single leap reshape everything she knew? She glanced around the diner at the familiar faces, their laughter and chatter dulled in a haze. Would they still recognize her if she took that step? What if I change so much I can't come back? Mia's voice trembled slightly. Alex shook his head, you won't change in a bad way. Growth is a part of life. Look at all those astronauts who blasted off into space. Are they ever the same? Of course. But they come back with stories, experiences, and a wider view of the universe. She let out a shaky breath. It made sense, yet the fear of the unknown loomed large. What if she lost her voice in the crowd of the new life? What if she couldn't fit in anymore? I just want to be me, she finally confessed, the emotion of the moment hanging thick in the air. That's exactly what you'll be. The real you. The you with dreams, with adventures, he replied, his enthusiasm infectious. You deserve to experience life outside this bubble. You need to see your potential. Mia looked back down at the paper, her mind racing through the possibilities. What if she did this not just for herself, but for everyone who had ever doubted her? Could she become a beacon of hope for others stuck in the same place? What if I do it? She whispered, feeling the weight of her own words. A broad smile broke over Alex's face, illuminating the dim diner like the neon lights outside. That's the spirit. Just think about all the new friends, the support, and the opportunities waiting for you. But just as the excitement bubbled up, a hush fell over the diner. Mia's eyes darted to the entrance as a familiar voice cut through the ambience, sharp and judgmental. "Mia. There you are." It was Jessica, flanked by her usual entourage. The girls walked in with an air of superiority that felt suffocating. Jessica's eyes narrowed as she took in Mia and Alex, her expression shifting to one of judgment. "Didn't he expect to see you here with him?" Mia felt her heart drop. The weight of Jessica's disdain filled the space. Right then, anxiety clawed at her, making her question everything. What would they think of her if she took that step and it led her to a world away from them? Alex sensed her unease and squeezed her hand a bit tighter. "Hey, don't let them dim your shine." But the shadows were creeping in. "What if they're right?" she muttered, her confidence wavering. "Let them think what they want," Alex countered firmly. "What matters is what you think." Mia stared straight at Jessica, drawing strength from Alex. Just as about a fresh resolve began to rise, Jessica called out again, a cruel smirk on her face. "You think you can be something special now? Don't kid yourself, Mia." The words landed heavy, but this time her heart didn't sink. Instead, it ignited a spark. Maybe Jessica was more afraid of Mia stepping into her power than Mia herself was. Mia took a deep breath, facing Alex, who nodded encouragement. "I have to let go of their opinions. I need to leap," she asserted, her voice steadier now. But as she confidently turned back to the girls, she felt the fiery surge of determination clashing with the doubt still lingering inside her. A familiar twist of fear and excitement wrapped around her. Would she truly find out who she was capable of being, or would her old fears continue to haunt her? With Jessica raising an eyebrow, a small smirk lingering on her lips, Mia knew the moment of truth was looming. Would she break free or remain tethered to the past? The echo of possibility filled the air, leaving Mia grappling for what her next move would be. "Will I step into my future, no matter the cost?" she thought, her heart racing once more. As she prepared to answer, the door opened again, and a new face stepped inside, one that could swing everything in another direction entirely. Who was it? And what would that mean for Mia's moment? Mia's breath caught in her throat as the door swung open, and a tall figure stepped into the diner. At first, she didn't recognize him. The sharp jawline, tousled hair, and an air of confidence that filled the room. He was younger than she expected for someone who seemed to command attention so effortlessly. But as he lifted his eyes, her heart lurched. "Is that?" she whispered, half to herself, half to Alex. "Who?" Alex urged, peeking past her shoulder. "It's Sam. Sam Richards," she exclaimed, memories flooding back like a tide. Sam was a bright light from the town over, known for his intelligence and charm, a kid who had it all figured out, or at least that was the rumor. His unexpected presence felt like a jolt of electricity, instantly changing the entire atmosphere of the diner. Jessica's laughter had faded, she too had realized the gravity of the moment. It was obvious Sam didn't fit the mold of the small town's usual judgment. He had ambitions, dreams that sparkled in his eyes, and suddenly, Mia felt drawn to that energy. Briefly, Sam scanned the room, and when his gaze landed on Mia, recognition lit up his face. A smile broke across his features, instantly lifting her spirits. But Jessica, ever the storm cloud, seized the moment. "Sam! What brings you here?" she interjected, her voice laced with faux sweetness. Without breaking eye contact with Mia, he replied, "Just passing through. Thought I'd grab a bite." As he approached, the chatter around them dulled, the cafe almost pausing to absorb the sudden aura surrounding him. "Hey, Mia," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "Been a while. How've you been?" It was as if all her insecurities stilled for a moment. "I've been okay. You?" She felt a rush of hope surge through her at the familiar friendliness. "Busy working on some things, but good," he said. "Everything's about to change, you know." Instinctively, she wondered if he sensed her inner turmoil. The urge to confide in him surged up, but the fear of being judged was still fresh. "Wow, Sam. Change? You're not suggesting a new project or something?" Jessica chimed, her tone dripping with insincerity. "I'm starting a non-profit," Sam stated simply, eyes shimmering with purpose. "The focus is connecting bright students with resources to chase their dreams, just giving back a little." Mia's heart skipped a beat. Was he inviting her to be a part of that world? His passion lit something inside her, but doubt quickly crept in again. Could she really step into a future that held such potential while still tethered to a life that filled her with uncertainty? "Are you sure you can handle it?" Jessica scoffed. "No offense, Mia, but—" "Enough," Sam cut her off, his voice strong. "Mia, don't let her get to you. This is about your journey, not theirs." Mia felt a rush of warmth at his support, the walls around her heart cracking just a little more. It was a reminder there was a bigger world out there, one that waited for her to discover. Maybe it's time to break free, Mia thought, a flicker of courage igniting within her. Words escaped her as she turned back to Sam, determination fueling her voice. "I want to make a change, too. Maybe we could work together." The eagerness in her words surprised even her. His eyes lit up. "Absolutely. You would be amazing at that." As the spark of hope in her heart ignited, she glanced back at Jessica, who wore a mask of disbelief. Was this the shift Mia needed? Would she really embrace this new path, this unexpected opportunity? Before she could process it, Sam added, "Let's meet up and talk more about it. I believe we can create something great." Just then, the bell above the door jingled again. A powerful figure strode in, an unmistakable presence that turned heads, even Sam's. "Mia, we need to talk," the newcomer said, locking eyes with her. The weight of impending choices pressed heavily on her. Who was this person, and how would they shape the future she dared to grasp? Tension crackled in the air around them, and Mia braces herself for what this encounter might bring. Would it deepen the chaos, or help her unravel a path toward her destiny? Mia's heart raced as the figure stepped closer, the air thick with uncertainty. She strained to recognize them, but the newcomer's face remained shrouded in shadows. It was the kind of person who could turn your day upside down before you even had a chance to take a breath. "Mia," they repeated, their voice steady but urgent. "It's me. You don't remember?" Her mind whirlpooled with confusion. Did they mean something to her, or were they simply here to disrupt the moment she was having with Sam? Just as she opened her mouth to respond, Sam took a step toward her, protective instinct gleaming in his eyes. "Who are you?" he demanded, his voice low but firm. Mia had never seen this side of Sam before, but it sent out another ripple of unexpected warmth through her. The energy swirling in the diner shifted, the comforting clatter of plates and murmurs from other patrons faded into an eerie silence, leaving her fully aware of the confrontation unfolding in front of her. "You really need to listen, Mia," the newcomer insisted. "I wouldn't come here if it weren't important." Finally, she registered their features fully, the contours of their face triggering a distant memory. Tyler. The name slipped from her lips, a ghost from her past resurfacing. "Yeah, it's been a while," Tyler replied, their expression softening just a fraction. But the urgency lingered in their eyes. "I need to help you. It's about your father." At that moment, a cold rush of anxiety washed over Mia. The mention of her father cracked open a vault of emotions she'd been trying to keep locked away. Where heroism had once lived, now darkness lingered. "What do you mean? What about my father?" He's in trouble. The kind of trouble that could affect everything. Your life, your dreams, everything you care about. Tyler reached for her, but she took a small step back, uncertain. I don't want to hear it unless you can prove it, she retorted, the desperate need to defend herself bubbling up. Sam interrupted softly and took a step closer. What if he's telling the truth? Whatever this is, we can face it together. His words, laced with sincerity, drew her in despite her fears. Yet deep inside, a whisper told her to be wary. You don't understand, Sam. My dad made his choices. Why should I get tangled in them? Because you deserve more than being held back by someone else's mistakes, Tyler said, leaning forward, their voice steady. Enough. Mia shot back, the frustration of the day spilling over. You can't just waltz in here, throwing around accusations about my family. I don't even know why I should trust you. Jessica stood off to the side, arms crossed and smug, reveling in the chaos around her. Wow, dramatic much. Ignoring her, Mia turned back to Sam, his unwavering gaze somehow anchoring her in the storm. I've made plans. I want to start something new, something that matters. Then let us do it, he replied, determination in his voice. But you need to be sure of what you're walking into. I know, she said, her heart tangled in turmoil. But Tyler's here, and whatever this is, it could push me backward. It could ruin everything. Yet, in the depths of her uncertainty, the call of potential loomed ahead, shimmering with possibilities. Could this unexpected reunion with Tyler lead her to something she couldn't yet imagine? With Sam beside her, she squeezed her eyes shut for a moment, sending silent pleas into the universe. She just didn't know if her family's secrets held the power to sink her. Mia, you can't ignore the truth, Tyler insisted, met with her bottomless silence. You can't take control of your life until you face it. The desperation in their voice echoed in her ears. Overwhelmed, she felt the relentless tug of conflicting emotions: trust, fear, ambition, and loyalty twisting into a knot. What do I do? She finally whispered, the uncertainty hanging between them like a heavy fog. Seeing the crack in her resolve, Tyler leaned in closer. Let me show you the truth, Mia. But if you choose to turn away, you might just lose everything you've dared to dream. Doubt wrapped around her like a heavy shroud, but for the first time in a long while, Mia felt pushed towards something greater than herself. The kettle of hope within her began to boil. As the moment hung in the air, she understood one thing: the journey ahead promised to unravel everything she held dear. How deep was she willing to dive into the unknown? Okay, she finally murmured, the tiniest flicker of bravery lighting her voice. Let us talk. Little did she know, the truth would hold more than just a definition, it would redefine her entire existence. Would she be ready for what lay beyond? Mia felt Sam's hand warm at her back, a grounding presence in the whirlwind of emotions swirling around her. Tyler's gaze, sharp and focused, drew her in deeper, pulling her from the safety of ordinary life and into the chaos she tried so hard to escape. Let us find somewhere private, Tyler suggested, glancing around the diner, where patrons returned to their meals, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing at the counter. The tension was thick, and Mia could practically taste the fear and excitement mixed in her own breath. Okay, Sam finally agreed, and they stepped out into the crisp air. The sunlight outside felt like a stark contrast to the shadows creeping at the edges of her heart. What do you know about my father? Mia asked, her voice steady but barely masking the quaver underneath. I know he's in over his head, Tyler said, his eyes searching hers for understanding. He's mixed up with people who don't just play games. They play for keeps. Her stomach dropped. What kind of people? Those who won't hesitate to do whatever it takes to get what they want. Tyler paused, choosing their words carefully. And those who don't care about who gets hurt in the process. Mia felt a chill run down her spine, a whisper of doubt puncturing her earlier flicker of bravery. My dad has always been a little unpredictable. Unpredictable is one word for it, Tyler replied, a small sigh escaping them as they crossed their arms. But what you don't understand is that it's more than that. He's in real trouble, and if you don't approach this right, you could find yourself swallowed in it too. But what if Mia hesitated? What if I don't want to be involved? Sam stepped in, his voice soft but firm. Ignoring it might feel safer, but it won't make it go away. We've gotta face these things head on. She glanced at Sam, his determination pushing back against her fears. Could they jump into this chaotic mess together? Or would they drown in the swell of her father's choices? Tell me everything, Mia said finally, her voice stronger than she felt. If I'm going to figure out what is going on, I need to know what I'm up against. Tyler nodded, and for a moment, the weight of her decision hung heavy on her shoulders. They led her to a bench tucked away behind the diner, surrounded by the gentle rustle of leaves in the wind. It felt like a refuge, but also a battleground. Last I heard, Tyler began, eyes flickering back to her, he's in debt. Serious debt. And it's not just a loan he can pay back. Tyler paused, absorbing the reality of what they were about to say. What do you mean? Mia's heart sank even deeper, the pieces of the puzzle beginning to fit together in all the wrong ways. Those people demanding payment from your father. Tyler's voice grew quieter, you don't want to know how far they're willing to go. If he can't pay, they'll take something else. Mia's breath hitched, visions of her father flashed through her mind, his laughter, carefree moments that felt like a distant memory now. She'd always wanted to believe he could change. Why didn't he tell me? She whispered, her heart breaking with the realization of unspoken truths and buried fear. Tyler looked ready to answer, but before they could reply, her phone buzzed in her pocket, cutting through the tension. It was a message from her father, a request for a meeting. The pulse of panic raced through her, a premonition of what was to come. Mia? What is it? Sam asked, concern etching his features. I think he wants to talk about it. I don't know if I'm ready, she confessed, her voice trembling. You don't have to do this alone, he said gently, leaning closer. You don't even have to go if you don't want to. But now her heart was conflicted, caught between fear and the undeniable pull toward uncovering the truth, as chaotic as it might be. Maybe this is my chance to get answers, she murmured, staring into Sam's supportive gaze. But what if I'm walking into something I can't handle? As if sensing the weight of her thoughts, Sam took her hand in his, warmth spreading through her. Then we'll figure it out together. Whatever it is, we'll face it as a team. Mia looked at Tyler, whose expression was a mix of concern and urgency, then back at Sam. Every part of her screamed to back away, to shield herself from the encroaching shadows. But there was also a flicker of hope, glimmering like the morning sun trying to break through the clouds. I need to talk to him, she finally stated. I can't let my past dictate my future. With a resolute breath, Mia felt momentum shift within her. She wasn't just fighting for the past anymore, she was claiming her present. As they moved closer toward her father's address, tension crackled in the air. Would she find the answers she sought, or would they unlock a nightmarish reality she wasn't prepared for? The promise of revelations beckoned her forward. But the moment she stepped into that world, would she still recognize who she was when it all unraveled? Mia's heart thundered in her chest as they approached her father's office, a nondescript building that felt more like a fortress than a place of business. The air was heavy with the scent of diesel and concrete, the kind of place where secrets festered and shadows clung to the corners. It should have offered her comfort, being that it was a familiar place, yet dread pooled in her stomach. Are you sure about this? Tyler asked, concern etched in his brow. He looked behind them, as if expecting someone to jump out of the shadows. Sam stood with a fierce protective stance beside her, his presence calming yet intense. I have to know why, Mia replied, her voice stronger than she felt. She wasn't just doing this for herself, she was also doing it for Sam, for the possibility of a future that had eluded her for so long. Remember, Tyler said, locking eyes with her. Stay alert. It might seem casual, but people like him can change in an instant. One wrong word, and you could open a can of worms. Her stomach twisted at his implications. She breathed in the cold, sharp air, then walked inside, her heart racing. The lobby was empty, the only sound her footsteps echoing against white walls, highlighting her solitude. Each step was a reminder that she was diving headfirst into a whirlwind of chaos. As they waited for her father, she caught herself staring at the intricate patterns of the floor tiles, the way they twisted together, forming chaotic but beautiful designs. Just like my life, she thought, lost in the maze of uncertainty. Would she get the closure she needed, or would this meeting unravel more than just her family's secrets? "Your father is here," the receptionist said, her voice breaking Mia's trance. Anxiety washed over her. "Go ahead," Sam urged, squeezing her shoulder. A burst of courage surged through her for a moment. Then it was gone. Mia stepped into her father's office, the door creaking like it was warning her to turn back. Inside, he sat behind a polished mahogany desk, surrounded by the chaos of unopened bills, scattered papers, and piles of overwhelming worry. His eyes were clouded, and for the first time, his trademark smile felt like a mask. "Dad," Mia began, trying to hold on to the connection they once shared. "Hey, kiddo," he said, his voice faltering slightly. "I'm glad you came." Just like that, everything shifted. The warmth she had been searching for seemed to dissipate. It was a role reversal. He looked older, burdened, caught between desperation and the need to project strength. I got your message." His gaze flickered to Sam and Tyler, hovering anxiously outside the door. "Could you please leave us for a moment?" "No way," Tyler replied, crossing his arms defiantly. "She's not going anywhere alone with you." Mia appreciated the loyalty but felt stuck. "It's okay, really. I need to hear what he has to say." Tyler nodded, although reluctance etched deep lines in his forehead. Sam whispered to Mia, "Stay strong. You've got this." Before stepping back, shifting his weight nervously, his concern palpable, her eyes were glued to her father as he rubbed his temples, fighting an unknown battle within. "Mia, I haven't been truthful with you." She swallowed her swirling emotions, unwilling to back down. "What about the debts? The people after you? Why didn't you come to me?" The tension in the room crackled as silence enveloped them. "Because I wanted to protect you," he said finally, his voice trembling. "I thought if I kept it away from you, it would just disappear." Disbelief washed over her. "You really thought that?" "Things are complicated," he sighed. "I've made some choices that I regret, and now those choices are coming back to haunt me." His words strengthened her resolve. "You don't have to handle it alone. I'm here, Dad. Just tell me what is going on." As he began to speak, she spotted shadows lurking behind him. "But Dad, who exactly are these people?" Before he could answer, a figure slipped past the door. There was something familiar about the silhouette, someone she dreaded. The truth was about to unfold, but would it be more than she could handle? Would she find out just how deep her father's struggles ran, or were they stepping into terror she couldn't escape? The figure stepped fully into the office, and Mia froze. It was Ella, her childhood friend, the one whose departure left a gaping hole in her social life back in middle school. But now, her face was pinched with a tightness Mia didn't recognize, a stark contrast to the carefree girl who used to giggle over ice cream cones. "Mia," Ella said, her voice sharp, cutting through the tension. "I didn't expect to see you here." There was a flicker of something in her eyes, maybe concern, maybe disdain. "Ella, what are you doing here?" Mia asked, her heart sinking. "I came to see your father," Ella replied, shifting her weight as if she were standing on the brink of a chasm. "We have business to discuss." Mia glanced at her father, who now appeared even more somber. "What kind of business?" But before he could respond, Ella straightened, smoothing her tailored blouse. "You shouldn't be involved in this, Mia. It's not safe." Mia's chest tightened. "Not safe? What does that even mean? She shot a glance at Sam, who stood tense and alert, ready to step in if needed. Tyler remained by the door, a silent guardian. Your father has made some very dangerous people angry, Ella continued, her voice low, almost a whisper. I didn't want you to be dragged into this. I thought what? That I'd still be that clueless girl who watched from the sidelines. Mia interrupted, feeling a surge of anger mix with fear. I'm not going anywhere. I want the truth. Mia, her father said, his voice strained. No. She exclaimed. You can't keep putting me in the dark. I deserve to know what's happening. Ella exchanged a concerned glance with Mia's father. Sometimes ignorance is better, trust me. You really don't know what you're asking for. Mia felt her resolve waver, but she pushed through. I know this must be terrifying for you, but it's my life too. Are you all going to keep me locked out? Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. Mia's father leaned forward, his hands clasped. This isn't what I wanted for you, Mia. I was trying to protect you from everything that's come to light. Protecting me isn't lying to me. She shouted, her heart racing. I have to face this reality. Tell me about the debts. Who's coming after you? Her father swallowed hard, his gaze dropping to the papers cluttering his desk. The fear sparking in his eyes felt like a small flicker of panic shooting through Mia. They're not just debts, he finally said, his voice breaking. They're a message. From who? She whispered, feeling like the room was spinning. From people who believe I owe them more than money, he admitted, shame rolling off him in waves. A message? Ella echoed, her tone shifting to one of disbelief. This isn't just a financial issue anymore, it's deeper. They're trying to control you. The realization crashed over Mia, heavy and cold. Control him? Control us? Yes. Her father looked at her, his eyes pleading. I thought I could shield you from this world, keep you safe like I promised your mother. But I've failed. I don't care about your failures, Mia replied firmly, a new sense of determination flowing through her. I care about the truth and what's coming for us. Suddenly, the door swung open without warning. A suit-clad man strode into the office, his demeanor chillingly confident. Mia felt ice slide down her spine. Am I interrupting? He asked, a sly grin creeping onto his lips. Seems like I've walked into a family meeting. The air grew thick with unspoken tensions, unraveling every bit of calm Mia had clung onto. She felt Sam tense up beside her, ready to spring into action. What was happening now? Who was this man, and more importantly, what did he want? Mia realized she was stepping into the heart of a storm, and there was no turning back. With trembling hands, she steeled herself for whatever was about to unfold next. Mia stood frozen, her heart pounding in her chest as the stranger surveyed the room with a predatory gaze. His suit was pristine, his smile sharp, and he carried an air of command that made the walls of her father's South office seem to close in on her. I heard there was some family business to discuss, he said nonchalantly, leaning casually against the door frame as though he owned the place. Mia, stay back, Sam urged quietly, stepping slightly in front of her as if trying to shield her from whatever danger lurked behind the man's charming facade. Tyler's hands balled into fists by the door, tension radiating from him like electricity. Who are you? Mia managed to ask, her voice trembling just enough to betray the fear bubbling beneath her bravado. Names don't matter, the man replied, a smirk playing at the corners of his mouth. What matters is your father's debts, those little financial misunderstandings he has been hiding. Isn't that right, Mr. Johnson? Mia's father shifted uncomfortably, trying to regain some semblance of control in a situation spiraling out of hand. Don't involve her, he stammered weakly. This is between us. Oh, but how can I overlook your sweet daughter? She'll be an excellent bargaining chip, the man taunted, taking a step into the room, and that step felt like a gunshot in the air, loud and echoing. "Get out," Mia commanded, surprising herself with the strength in her voice. There was no way she was going to stand by while this man threatened her family. "Bold move, sweetheart," he chuckled darkly. "But it's not really in your hands. You see, those debts aren't just a number on a page, they carry weight and consequences. Your father has until the end of the week to settle up, or everything his family holds dear will be compromised." "Enough!" her father shouted, his voice breaking as he finally stood up, pulling a desperate strength from somewhere inside. Tears brimmed in Mia's eyes as she intertwined her fingers with Sam's. "I'll do whatever it takes, just please don't harm my family," her father pleaded, vulnerability framing his otherwise proud demeanor. "That's the spirit, Mr. Johnson." The man straightened up, reveling in the control he felt. "I'll be back. And remember, time is ticking." With that, he strolled out, leaving behind a heavy silence filled only by the pounding of hearts and the whisper of uncertainty. "Mia," her father began, but she cut him off, overwhelmed and angry. "Don't you dare. You think this is protecting me? Lying to me for years only to drop this on me like a bombshell?" Tears spilled down her cheeks, fear morphing into rage. "You put me in the dark about everything, about your choices. You pulled me away from Alex, from my future. Now I'm facing a nightmare and without a solid plan." Sam's voice was soothing as he stepped closer. "We'll figure this out. You don't have to face this alone." Mia wiped the tears away angrily. "I shouldn't have to fix this mess you made, Dad." She took a breath, calming herself. "But I can't stand by and let things fall apart." "Just be careful," Tyler warned, stepping forward. "We have to gather information. If we know who he's working for, we can find a way out." "There's always a way." "How?" Mia asked, the sudden intensity in her chest fading into a determined calm. "I'll do anything it takes to keep my family safe." "Let's start with someone who might have insights into this guy," Tyler suggested. "Someone from our school. I'll reach out to a few contacts." "What about Alex?" Sam interjected. "He could leverage resources from his connections. Maybe he can know." Mia snapped, regretting the harshness of her words immediately. "He's already been through enough, I won't drag him into this chaos. We'll figure it out instead. Just the three of us." Mia turned back, looking at her father, who stood crushed under the weight of his choices. "This isn't just about you anymore, Dad. We're in this together, but it starts with the truth. No more lies, okay?" He nodded, the shame on his face palpable. In that moment, the clouds began to part within Mia's heart. The anger remained, but it was filled with purpose now, a fierce, protective determination ignited within her, illuminating a path forward through the murky shadows. As they left her father's office, Mia began to feel the stirrings of hope within, the belief that she could rise above this darkness, not just for herself, but for everyone she cared about. Gathering strength from each connection, she knew they could weather this storm together. With Sam and Tyler at her side, she would confront whatever dangers lay ahead, not as a frightened girl but as a fierce warrior ready to seize her fate. She let out a breath, filled with newfound resolve, determined to unravel the threads of chaos surrounding her. This was just the beginning of reclaiming not only her family's honor, but her very own dreams. As the sun dipped below the horizon, she stepped out into the world, courage lighting her way, ready to face the fight ahead. Now more than ever, she understood that rising above wasn't just a dream, it was a declaration. And she wouldn't back down. Don't wait not even one more second. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you won't miss the next exclusive stories that are sure to inspire. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support the journey. Comment your reactions and feelings about this life-changing ending. And above all, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation and rise to their own challenges. You need to show your support. This is the moment.